Well, welcome to the breakdown, our Towin package. We are going to learn how to use the breakdown Towin package today. So the first place we are going to start is with our defaults. So if we go into File, Defaults, and we're going to go to our standard Towin defaults. Alright, this is how do you want your company to actually run. If it is not an insurance company, it's just a normal everyday tow, what would your standard rates actually be? Your standard tow value? Do you get storage free days? How much do you charge per storage? And if there is a second tow, what would be the tow for that? When we come to do a tow, you will see that we have 3 values that you can put on. This is where you will set up your 3 values that you want. And we can now also set up, because these lists here are for your everyday tows, but then these ones here are your protocols for what insurance company or what are the rates that you're using for not necessarily just an insurance company, but a company down the road or whoever it might be. So let's go in and actually have a look at one of them. So I'm going to go in and edit the protocol. All of these that are not used, we can go in and you would edit the protocol. What is the name that you're wanting to use? So we can say Ave rent a car. All right, their standard tow charge is they're only going to do 900 Rand. They do a rate of 2.45 a kilometer. I know nothing about pricing and things like that, so please excuse my rates. They're doing 5 Rand for every kilometer thereafter. And what is that 900 Rand? What radius does it cover? So let's just say it covers a radius of 60 kilometers. So I can say tow price within 60 kilometer radius. That is the wording that will come up onto my invoice whenever I use the Avis Rent-A-Car protocol. Okay, click the record, and I have now put in our Avis protocols. Right, then just some of the other tick boxes that we have is if your drivers always use the same truck, you want to tick to say associated drivers with trucks, because then you can put a truck and a driver together. Do you want to do a quote follow-up at the end of a tow when you have finished doing the actual tow? You can get somebody to phone the customer, speak to the customer, ask them 10 questions, and they will give you the answers for those 10 questions, and that's what the tow follow-up is all about. When you come to make your invoices, what do you want to have come up automatically? Where are you throwing it, towing from and towing to? Do you want the mileage to come up onto the invoice? I'm going to say yes. So we just go through and sort that out. Right, then we've also got commissions. We can set up our commissions. If it is a percentage of every invoice to go to the driver, that is where you would write in the percentage. If it is a set amount of money for every tow that you do, that is where you would put in the set amount of money that it is. The drivers are actually paid on commission. You've now ticked that, so it now knows that one of these two need to actually be filled in. So I'm going to say that they get 300 Rand for every tow. Right, additional defaults. Your licenses, your tow truck licenses itself, and also the driver's license. If you need Dr. Smash to start warning you as to when these licenses are due, this is where you will do it. You would tick to say, yes, I want to be warned. How many days notice do I want? 30, 60, 90 or 120 days. So let's just say 30 days. Who is it going to email the notice to? So you would type in info Dr. Smash, and then your expiry employee is who is the person who is actually in charge of doing these ones, because you go into here and now it brings up a list of your all your staff that you have. You can now choose whoever it is, and what will happen is it will send you an email and it will send you an internal message. So you will get two ways of being notified. Right, then your dolly wheel value. What are your values for your dolly wheel? And then also, when you come to make your invoice, do you want it to use the standard wording? Or if it was, you will see when I say tow type, when I come to make the invoice, what I am talking about. But things like it could be a fuel drop, or it could be an accident, or it could be your different types of tows that you have. Do you want the invoice to actually use that wording, or do you want it to use the normal wording as per the protocols that you've put in? Right, there could be reasons why a tow is not being charged. I have put in internal, because you're moving it from one place to another, so there is no charge actually involved. But you could have all your different reasons on here, and all you need to do is you just say add a new record and put in why you are not charging for a particular tow. Right, that is your defaults. So now let's go through and start adding on our tow trucks itself. I go into my admin, asset control, and tow trucks. I would be using the word add a new truck, but I'm going to save time at the moment and just say edit the tow truck. And literally all we are doing is we are writing in the make and model of it, what is the registration, the year, engine number, chassis number, and here is your expiry date that you have for this particular tow truck. So now this is what it's going to keep track of. Additional vehicle information. You can go in and you can write up any of the additional information that you need to. It's a place for you to be able to write up exactly what's going on. Right, and literally it is just a case of typing. The current odometer reading is, at this point, you will type in what your odometer reading is now when you're first adding on the tow truck, but this odometer reading will constantly be updated to whatever your toes, when you're doing your toes and you put in your end odometer reading, it now uses that as what your current odometer reading will be. So this figure here is constantly being updated by the Dr. Smash system. So what have we got with this tow trucks? With our tow trucks, we can go through. I've highlighted my CA44. I can view all my vehicle purchases that I have done. I went in and I actually bought some parts for this particular vehicle. There's my invoice number. That's who my supplier actually is. Let's view what I bought. So I can go in, view my order. I bought myself a headlamp assembly and I bought the lens for it. I have got all my details on it as to where I bought it from, who the person is that I spoke to, when did I place the order, when did I actually receive the parts. All of that is on here. So we can now see what is going on with all the parts that we have purchased for each one of our tow trucks that we have done. How do we add on these parts, these part purchases? That is, make a part purchase. So you highlight the car that you want, the truck that you're going to be using, make a part purchase. What is it? It automatically goes to replace, but you can actually be doing mechanical work on it, you can be repairing parts on it, you can be putting used parts on. That's all up to you as to what, but I'm going to say I'm going to replace the battery, and it's about, what is a battery these days? I don't know, 800 Rand, sounds good enough to me. And I say, okay, save the part. Do we want to add another part to it? No, I don't, and I can now click on no. Right, so there is my battery. I can now go into my supplier. Who am I buying this from? I can go find all my suppliers that I have, who I buy my different parts from. How do I add on these lists? That is actually under your suppliers. And you have got your add button in there. So that is where you can add on if they are one of your suppliers. I'm just going to select my normal one, and I can say ordered by, that is who at my parts company, and their name is here. To get the names, because there's no add button here, to get the names actually on it is to go into queries, suppliers. There is our list. We edit our supplier and we have staff of the supplier. If I click on staff of the supplier, there is my add button for actually adding on the staff that work at this particular company, and I can now select who it is. Right. So I select my record. I have now done everything that I need to do, and I can now say commit my order. When the parts actually arrive, we will do our receiving of it to say that the parts have actually arrived. But that is not what I'm here to show you today, is how you do your receiving and things like that. Right, so we have now done make a parts purchase. We viewed what purchases we have done. So if I now go back in, there is my second one, but my receive, it has not actually been received at the moment. It is still on order. I can even do fuel usage. I can go in and look to see how often and what prices we have done on our fuel usage for this particular car, and here is my total. I will be showing you just now how to actually go in and to do the fuel usage on the system as well. We also have your mileage reports. Your mileage reports is, I'm using the same car again. If I go into my mileage report, I set my dates. My dates are weird, so I'm going to say from the 21. I click on OK. And now it will come through and show me every job that has been done and what the mileage rates are on this particular job. So we can see that we've done a total of 198. From there to here, we've